Ain't no half stepping with Marcus J. We're back. Thank you for so much for hanging in with us as we go through our relationship show with our friend Latanya and the dating pool diva author Charisma in the building, along with Big Rube, Carlton Banks, and your host Marcus J. To get in with us, 804-447-0601, 804-447-0601. In the last segment, we talked about long distance relationships. We got hot topics that we're getting into tonight, and the dating pool diva is going to lead us in the next discussion on a hot topic. What you got there, dating diva?
Okay, guys, I wanted to spark a nice relationship discussion, and I think this one will really be a hot one. I think a lot of people will be interested in talking about it on and off the air, and hopefully they'll call in and share their opinions. Do you believe the media influences dating and relationships in the black community? For example, colorism in the hip-hop music industry, i.e. light skin versus dark skin. What can be done to resolve this issue? So, I think that's a topic we're all, familiar with.
Big Rope.
I like to get in on that.
Please.
Why, and this has happened to me almost all my life, why do dark-skinned people hate light-skinned people? I don't understand it. For instance, it is very rare that you see a dark-skinned sister with a light-skinned brother.
Let me answer that one. When you're ready, let me answer that.
No, you go ahead. I'm just like, I don't get it.
Okay, you're a little off topic.
They're a little bit off topic.
We can get back to my topic in a minute.
We're a little bit off topic, but I'm going to address what he said, and then we're going to get back onto it. But basically, a lot of it has to do with the jealousy that came from slavery, and we got a lot of issues as a black culture. A black American culture. Some people like to say African American. To me, that's kind of bougie. I like to say black people. I'm black. I was born black and die black.
Blacker than black.
Period.
Yo.
But real quick, so we can get back to the topic at hand. A lot of it has to do with the jealousy that you had the darker people who had for the lighter people, because the lighter people during the slavery times were treated better. They were treated better because they looked more like white folk, and so they were treated better. And you had darker people who didn't like that they was treated better. It's the whole crab in the barrel kind of syndrome. And it pervades itself through the current, population.
Well, no, but I understand that.
Okay.
But I felt that the question, because in media, it's very rare that you see, a light-skinned brother with a dark-skinned sister.
True.
It is very rare that you see that, or vice versa. Actually, you see more of the dark-skinned brother with a light-skinned sister, more so than you see the other way around. It's very rare. What?
I don't know that I agree with that.
Hold on.
I don't agree with that at all.
Latanya, go ahead. Hold up, Latanya, jump in on that.
What?
Latanya, jump in on that.
Okay, in my family and people I know, I see darker skinned women with light skinned men all the time. Like, I'm sort of kind of making a face of perplexedness. Like,
yeah,
I can't believe you don't see that. Like, I see it often.
Dating diva?
Often.
I think what I'm trying to introduce is in the media, on television, on the internet, in magazines. He's right. You do see more of a light-skinned girl with like a dark-skinned guy in the videos and stuff like that. You do see that more.
Look at the Cosby Show.
You do.
The Cosby Show?
The Cosby Show. Bill Cosby's wife was Felicia Rashad, who is a light-skinned sister.
I don't know that I would consider her light-skinned, but...
But hold on. That's what we talking about.
All right. Well...
Major shows, you don't see the other side. Like, even on the game, it's both light and light. You never see... There's no dark and light.
Well, I mean... I think personally a lot of it has to do with the media's fascination with lighter skin tones, and I also think a lot of it has to do with the media's fear of darker skin tones. So to put them together and show harmony may not be their object. You understand what I'm saying?
I understand that, but
you'll see a brother with a white girl before you'll see a brother with a light skinned sister. Would you agree with that?
Or you'll see you won't see how many light skinned brothers with dark skinned sisters do you see on TV?
You almost never see that.
Exactly.
Almost never.
Yeah, you almost never see that.
And most of the time,
Y'all not watching
you know,
Tyler Perry shows?
I'm not talking about Tyler Perry because apparently he's trying to be open to the spectrum of people. I'm talking about the Little Waynes. You know what I'm saying? I'm talking about, you know, Lord Banks and all these rap
Jay-Z.
artists that are out. Who do they always show? The lighter complected female. I mean, let's just be real. And there's a reason for that.
Kanye West.
Some of them won't even let them on the video set if they're not a certain complexion. And that's wrong. I mean, in my opinion, it's wrong.
Well, obviously, you know, anytime you got black folk that has issues with other black folk, you got a problem with me. You know, you can go back generations and go through the brown paper bag test, you know, and a lot of people, younger than us, have no idea what that was. If you were lighter than a brown paper bag, they had issues with you. Or if you were darker than a brown paper bag, they had issues with you. You understand what I'm saying? So, call. Yeah. I'm going to ask you your opinion on the subject. Well, we got a call, so you go ahead and screen that call. Big Rube, jump back in right there because you seem to be on to something here.
Well, I mean, look at a different world. There is one dark-skinned sister on that show, and she never dated anybody.
She dated Ron, didn't she?
Yeah. She dated Ron like season 6.
We got a call.
And that's because Ron kept hitting on it every other episode.
She dated Ron. You had the first Aunt Viv and Uncle Phil. You got Michelle and Barack Obama. You got women of color with their lighter man.
We got a call on the line. We got the illustrious former host of this time slot. We got Jay Grizzy Green. What's up, man?
What's going on, Marcus J? What's up, family? I'm checking the show out. I heard on the Charisma's first question. And first day, Rube, what the hell are you talking about? You didn't even answer the question. Second of all,
you ain't keep listening. You need to keep listening.
What I want to say is, I think he was saying, making sure I'm understanding the question. There are a lot of dark-skinned sisters on here that are getting a lot of play. They're not as much as light-skinned sisters are. That's just the way the media is. I mean, media is controlled usually by rich white guys. So usually their preference is going to be for somebody to their, you know, even the artists don't have no control over when they put in the video. They may have their little say so, but they don't make the final say. Who's the girl? Kelly Rowland, dark-skinned chick. Kenya, the chick that won Miss USA back in the late 90s, early 2000s. I mean, there's a plethora of dark-skinned sisters, my wife included, that, and I'm being a piss color like my grandma say, kind of looking dude, you know. So it's just a misnomer. If you get out and you see enough of the world, you know, you're gonna see, you know, different shades of black, different shades of whatever color dating one another. But I wanted to jump in. Ruben took me left with it, with the answer to the question, so I wanted to hear all.
Uh-oh. Jay Grizzy and the phone bill ain't get paid. He got cut off.
We just lost.
Grizzy, pay your phone bill. Yeah, I don't know what you did wrong, but go pay your phone bill.
If you still listening, Grizz, call us back 804-447-0601. Big Rube.
Yes.
What do you think about what Grizzy was saying?
I think Grizzy won't pay attention because I specifically said that you don't see a lot of light-skinned brothers on TV with dark-skinned young ladies. You don't.
I think we got Grizz back. Grizz?
Pay your bill.
Yeah, the bill is paid. Call them bank. Your mama gave it to me. By the way.
Oh, wait a minute, see?
Come on.
But no, I wanted to get back to Charisma's question. She said, "Why do you see that and media so much?" And me kind of dipping into sort of entertainment is a little bit over the last year and a half. It's not really the artist. Unless you got that much clout, the artist can't do much about that. Most media companies are conglomerates. They're run by big, rich, you know, Caucasian men, and they know what sells. Right now, what's selling, what's always been selling is you want that fair-skinned young lady. But it's not necessarily mean that's just because you fed that all the time doesn't mean that's going to just seep into my pores and that's all I'm going to date. You know, I'm smart enough to determine, you know, it's not your complexion, it's, you know, you as a person or who I want to go out with, you know.
Jay Grizzy, can I ask you the question directly that I asked Big Roo earlier, and he didn't really directly answer it. Do you think these media influences affect our relationships in the black community?
It affects the ignorant ones.
Okay.
You know, the people who are in the black community. If you're not well versed, if you're not well cultured, if you don't see enough of the world, if you don't read, if you don't dip into different cultures, understand different cultures, that's gonna play on you. Perfect example of a hip hop Atlanta. What's on TV all the time? Reality shows. You know, they got dark skinned chicks, light skinned chicks, but they all ignorant. You know what I'm saying? So if you can't decipher, between what's real and what's not, come up to your own conclusion, use what you got between your ears, it's going to affect you. It'll have a young girl saying, I'm not pretty enough, I need to date this kind of guy. Or you have a young boy saying, I'm not handsome enough, I need to date this kind of girl. If you don't have someone that's saying, you know, what you see on TV, that's fiction. You know, it's not real. It's not what's actually going on here in real life. So I hope that kind of answer, that would be my answer to that question, is like, for the ignorant people out there, they ain't got no proof. It's going to affect them, you know, and rightfully so. I mean, if you're blind, you can't tell one color from another. You're just out there doing what you want to do.
Right. And Jay, in response to that, this is LaTanya speaking, by the way, I would say that beyond just the videos and the things you see in magazine, hip-hop lyrics, movies, they all kind of send the same message that at its core basically says it's valuable to be something other than black. You know, whether you're mixed, whether you're Brazilian, whether you're Latina, you know, I mean, they brag in the lyrics all the time about their, you know, Puerto Rican girls, their Brazilian girls, you know, I got chicks that speak different languages. You know, the whole premise behind those kind of lyrics and those thoughts is, you know, something other than black is valuable. It's not worth mentioning, speaking about my roundaway dark-skinned sister, because she's just, you know, expendable, easy to get, not valuable. And that sends a bad message to the young ladies.
It's a horrible message. And what we as a people need to refrain. Like, you know, the entertainment is pure, simple supply and demand. They wouldn't put that out there if there were enough ignorant folk, and I don't care what race you are. Ignorance comes in all different races, but they wouldn't put that out there if there wasn't a market. You know, I think people, you know, people as a whole, especially in this country, buy dumb stuff. They like eat it up. They like need that ignorance, you know. And you gotta get out of the bubble and see the world for what it really is, and not just in your little small corner of the world. I mean, use Richmond or Virginia or the East Coast or the South. Just say, well, you know, if you see more different cultures, you may have a different outlook on things, and you will see that when you're looking at stuff like that on TV. Those images, you be like, that's, tell them, Marcus, you be like, yo, that's whack.
804-447-0601 Big Rope.
Now, Grizzy, I would like to touch on another spot. You know, because I'm sitting there, I'm thinking really hard about what's on TV today. And other than the Tyler Perry shows, how many other shows, how much media on TV do you see where there is a dark-skinned sister who is married?
Man, you know, it's not a lot. I mean, nothing. If I had to sit there and him and haw about it, it's not a lot, you know. But you can still, you know, you got different media outlets. I mean, you can pick up a book and read about a particular relationship, and the character could be whatever color. You could go back and look at old movies, old TV shows, or whatever. It's not a lot, but you can't just let what's in the media say that that's how it's supposed to be. And I think that's what Charisma is getting at. Is like she feels that it's seeping into the consciousness of people of color to say that's what we need to look
a lot of
attractive.
A lot of it,
and
Grizzy.
I think, you know, for us, the intelligent folk going against the ignorance, we're the ones that should speak up and be like, that's not true. That's just because you. I mean, if you keep saying it 1,000 times, it's still not going to make it right. You know, it's still not going to make it true.
A lot of it has to do with the I guess the way that beauty is determined, Grizzy, and we thank you for your call. Thank you for listening.
Thank you, man. I'm going to hang up. I'm going to listen to the rest of the show. I appreciate it.
If something else comes back up, feel free to call us back. 804-447-0601. That was Jay Grizzy Green. A lot of it has to do with the images that you see on television that are, I guess, somewhat the standards of beauty. If you see, anytime you see a commercial, and the one that's kind of sticking out with me, I'm a drinker, so I see Corona commercials, and you always see the thin, pretty, brown skin, blonde, blue head, brown hair, blue-eyed girl who's shapely, but you never see a sister in those. And if you do, you never see a dark-skinned sister in those. You know what I mean? And we got two beautiful dark-skinned sisters in the room with us today, and I'm here to tell you, I'm pretty much.
I thought I was brown, but okay.
No.
Hold up now. Hold up.
Because to me, no, I ain't gonna start no fight because to me, because to me, it's a compliment for somebody to call me dark skinned. For me, that's a compliment. Like but see, it's a compliment for me.
Okay.
And I'm assuming that it is for my sisters that's in the room. And it is. They was climbing.
I think chocolate is beautiful.
Yeah, I mean, because anytime you hear the word nappy, and you hear it in a negative connotation, I'm like, that's not a negative connotation. That's your natural grain of hair. Quit tripping. You know what I mean? You ain't got to put the hot comb to it. You can just let it roll the way it came out your scalp. Why you running from it? You know, you got some people that don't care for that, and that's fine for them. It's fine for them that they don't care for that. But if that's the way you roll, there's still a standard of beauty. And I think a lot of times the media makes it seem like there's something wrong with that.
You actually have these dark-skinned women from all different countries. I mean, not just America, but Brazil and places in Africa where they're bleaching and lightening their skin so they can look light-skinned.
Yeah.
I mean, a lot of...
Really?
Yes, they're doing this, and it's very dangerous too. It causes all kinds of different problems, cancer and everything else. And people are taking those risks just so they can look lighter.
But you know what trips me out though? I mean, kind of, not really on the subject, but kind of on the subject. You see a lot of fair-skinned brothers and sisters, whether they be white, light-skinned, Hispanic, whatever they are, doing things that will make them look dark-skinned. You know what I mean? Making their skin dark. Or, you know, being out there tanning or getting injections.
I think everybody is striving for that mulatto look, that mix, hard to tell what color I am, what my background is kind of look.
It's exotic.
To the opening question, though. What are you looking at? What are you seeing
To come up with that question, I need to know what are you viewing to come up with that question?
I'm viewing television. I'm listening
what on television
to
specifically?
Okay, videos, music
What
videos. Like I said, Lil Wayne,
I
he
ain't
has a
seen
bunch
video
of,
in years, so that's why
That's your
I
fault.
need.
you know, I mean, it's
I'm
a
serious.
bunch of rap artists. Just about every rap artist that's hot right now, he's pushing this. Light skin, red bone.
Okay,
you know
so-
what I'm
Okay,
saying?
but that kind of started. Well, I shouldn't even say started because I can't say when it started. But that was something that we always saw when we was growing up. I'm guessing that all of us, we ain't got to call each other out, but I'm guessing that we're all within 5-6 years of each other's ages, generally, in our 30s.
I'm 29.
It's whatever.
Except for Banks.
We're all within the same general age group. And I remember the phrase red bone, and I also remember that having a red bone was supposedly like a prize. Like if you got yourself a light skinned girl, you was like, word, I got me a light skinned girl. You know what I mean?
So
They ain't think about light skinned dudes like that. We was just like, who's that guy?
because Ruben, you
Well,
That's
that's
not
not true. I was going to say that. I'll be sure.
Both of the ladies
Christopher
jumped on us
Williams.
quick.
Ruben
They
was
were
a
hot
red
ladies.
graveyard. That's why.
Yeah, I mean, I'll be sure, you know, which anybody that knows me knows, you know, that's kind of my dude. That's my dude. I like I'll be
Ruben
sure.
was a red graveyard.
You know,
That's
but,
why
but
he
in
ain't
all
a red
seriousness,
bone.
you just, I remember.
See, look at the dark skin
light-skinned.
hating on brother.
Well, I mean, I think if we looked around this room and all said, I think we all probably round about the same complexion, give or
I'm
take
lighting
a
all
shade
y'all
or two.
Ruben.
I mean,
You're right.
let's be
You lighting me,
serious.
Banks.
Let's be serious for a second. Would y'all agree that give or take a shade or two, we all right around about the same complexion?
Except for me.
No.
I'm much lighter than all y'all.
No. You at one end and he at the other.
Is that okay with you? Is that your preference?
I mean, I love me.
Do you want to be
So,
light?
I mean, it doesn't matter what
Do you
y'all.
want to
I
be
love
light or
me.
dark?
The three of us in the middle.
And then because you made a point of saying, "Oh, I'm lighter than y'all. I'm lighter than y'all."
Truth of the matter is this.
I mean,
Getting started.
you know, I mean, for real. I mean, are we gonna go school days up in here for real?
The
Because
three
you
of
can
us
sit
in
here and
between
trip
two of y'all.
all you want, but we all the same
Daddy
damn
long.
complexion. Quit
I
tripping.
mean, you know, I realize that.
So
but-
why you had to
but-
make it seem
hey,
like you wasn't?
Because, man, the light-skinned dudes got hated on all
But you ain't light skinned.
Yes, he is.
So
Ain't no
What is
damn
your
light
problem?
skinned.
When did you go to high school?
Part of you, man. Look, man, take those
Hold
things
on,
off
Ruben.
your glasses.
Yeah, you
Yeah,
take
man.
them tents off, brother.
Ruben ain't no damn light skinned.
Ruben is light skin, Mark.
He's not light
I
skinned.
would say he's
say,
a
look at
caramel
bright
brown.
He's like brown. He's
You
like
see
light
the legs?
brown.
Come on now.
He's a
Legs,
caramel.
legs.
Light skin is what we
Look at this.
like.
Look at this, dude. What is this?
I mean, that's the palm of your hand. Everybody's
Hey,
palms
your
is light skin.
And your palm of your hand's darker than my whole
All right,
body.
look. What I consider
That's
light
all I'm
skin,
saying.
what I would consider light skin is when we was young, we would call the ladies, you know, red bone. We would
That's
call
Ruben.
Let me finish,
Ruben
man.
ain't red
Let me
bone,
finish. We would, red bone was kind of a lady term, and yellow was kind of the term that you gave to the
I
fellas.
mean, yeah, I've been called high
so
yellow,
he
But
before.
you ain't yellow, ladies.
You know what though? I think this is a North versus South thing. You know, Marcus J is from the North, and
Yeah,
they have a higher level of light skinnedness
Yeah, they ain't
than
no
what we do in
sunshine
the
up in
South.
Jersey.
They do.
Hey,
I
the
mean,
sun-
It's straight up small
Sunshine,
up in
DJ.
Jersey.
yeah, he is Southern light. Mark.
So how
He's
he come
Southern
out
light.
so
he
dark?
is Southern light.
How he come out so
That's
dark?
some
They
bull.
Just coming down here and
Ain't
giving
no
it.
damn
All I'm
light.
saying is my shorts are almost darker than me.
Whatever.
So, you know, see, that's what I'm saying, man.
Whatever.
You had to live down the South with all the hate going on light skin.
we gonna go ahead and leave this one right there because clearly we're not going to agree on this one. So we're gonna take a quick break. And when we come back, Latanya, I'm gonna let you get your point in on the other side, and then we'll go into the next subject. Ain't no half stepping. Big Rube, Carlton Banks, Latanya, the dating pool diva, Marcus J. Ain't no half stepping. Be back in a minute.
The boys light skin too.
Yellow people now.
Haters. Haters. Haters.
Hate.
I was about to.
I'm a mind girl.